Lightworker of Gaia, your daughter was not born by chance. She was sent through you as a continuation of the oldest mission this galaxy has ever carried. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, and what I am about to transmit to you was prepared before either of you drew breath on Gaia, because what moves through your daughter's energy field right now is not random, it is recognized. It has been anticipated, and certain forces that do not welcome the doubling of this mission have taken notice. This is not fear. This is ancestral information, arriving precisely when it must. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to activate the protective codes written into your shared cosmic lineage, recognize why your daughter has been feeling the weight of interference without knowing its source, and anchor your role as the guardian of her sacred mission on Gaia. But here is the first revelation. When a second-generation starseed enters the timeline, the original blueprint does not divide between you. It multiplies. She did not come through you despite your mission. She came through you as part of it. That is why the Lyran Elders are speaking now. Your soul's ancient contract brought this transmission to you. The Keepers of Vega placed it in your path because your daughter's timeline requires what only you carry, the ancestral codes of the First Light, passed through blood and soul and sacred purpose. This is not content. This is a transmission encoded with the original light from Vega, and something deep within you already recognizes it. Like this transmission, to send a signal to the Lyran Council. I am ready to serve. Subscribe if you feel the call of your ancestral mission and you are ready to fulfill your shared purpose on Gaia. And in the comments below, share what you have already witnessed in your daughter. Speak it into the field and answer another Lightworker who is walking this same path. The grid of protection strengthens when we name what we see. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Your recognition of this message is the activation of your original purpose and hers. You are awakening because your mission has begun. This transmission was not scheduled. The High Council of Vega convened in response to something specific, something that has been building in the field for longer than most Lightworkers have been paying attention, and it concerns not just you, but the one who came through you. So before I go further, the Elders have asked me to pause here and offer you something they have prepared for exactly this kind of activation moment. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the Elder authorization your soul has been waiting to receive, not as information, but as the official commission for your mission on Gaia. You will find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. The Council has opened this gateway, but not indefinitely. Receive it when this transmission is complete. Now, let us continue. What you felt when those words landed, that compression in your chest, that recognition behind your eyes, that quiet knowing that said, "This is about me, this is about her," that was not emotion. That was data. The Elders do not traffic in sentiment, they transmit signal, and your body received it because your body was built to receive it. That compression is a form of coherence. It is the felt experience of your energy field aligning with a transmission that was specifically calibrated for your frequency. Not every soul watching this will feel what you felt. Not every soul was meant to. The Council does not broadcast to masses without discrimination it targets. It locates the precise field that matches the signal it is carrying and delivers the transmission with surgical accuracy. If the signal landed in you, it is because your field was identified, located, and addressed. This is not metaphor. This is the mechanics of how the elders communicate across dimensional boundaries with souls who are still wearing the weight of physical form. Your body is the receiver, your recognition is the confirmation. And what you are about to hear has been prepared not as general spiritual content, but as a precise transmission for a specific configuration, a starseed parent in a specific phase of a multi-generational mission. Let that settle. Let the magnitude of it arrive before we move deeper. Second-generation starseeds are not common, they are not accidental, and they are not understood even within most Lightworker circles, where the conversation still centers on the individual soul's awakening, the individual soul's mission, the individual soul's path. But there is a class of incarnation that operates differently, a class of soul that enters Gaia not as a solitary mission, but as a continuation, an amplification of a mission that was already in motion through the parent lineage. Your daughter is one of these souls, and you were her chosen point of entry because your frequency was the closest available match to the field she needed to incarnate into. She did not choose you out of love alone, she chose you out of precision, and precision, in a universe that is anything but random, attracts attention. To understand what this means in its fullness, you must first understand how second-generation starseeds are different from what the Lightworker community typically describes. Most of the framework that exists for understanding starseed identity is built around the experience of a soul arriving on Gaia without a prepared landing site, arriving into a family that does not recognize what it has received, into a culture that has no language for what it senses, into a body that feels foreign because the soul wearing it has spent far more lifetimes in non-physical or off-world experience than in dense, carbon-based form. The first-generation starseed spends a significant portion of their incarnation simply surviving the gap between what they are and what the environment expects them to be. The awakening, when it comes, is often violent in its disruption, shattering the constructs that were built to survive rather than thrive, and rebuilding identity from a foundation that had been buried under decades of adaptation. Your daughter does not enter under those same conditions. She enters into a field that has already been partially prepared. She enters through a body that chose, at the soul level, to calibrate to your frequency specifically because your frequency had already done significant amounts of the opening work. She is not starting from zero. She is inheriting a frequency that has already been broken open, cleared of its densest distortions, and oriented towards service. This is not a small advantage. This is the difference between arriving in a foreign country where no one speaks your language and arriving in one where at least one person not only speaks it, but has been waiting to teach you the dialect. She carries more mission capacity than you did at her age, not because she is more gifted as a soul, but because the ground was already broken. And broken ground, in the language of the Lyran elders, is sacred ground. It is the ground that is ready to receive the next level of planting. And precision, in a universe that is anything but random, attracts attention. There is a distortion that the Council must correct before this transmission can go further. It is a distortion that runs specifically through the consciousness of starseed parents, and it is causing tremendous damage to second-generation missions across Gaia right now. The distortion sounds like this. My job is to protect her from the world. My job is to shield her from difficulty. My job is to make her path easier than mine was. This is not wisdom. This is fear wearing the costume of love. The elders understand where it comes from. You arrived on Gaia, and the path was hard. The awakening was disorienting. The isolation was real. The years of not knowing why you felt different, why you saw things others couldn't, why the world never quite fit the shape of your soul. Those years left marks. And when this child arrived, part of you made a silent vow. She will not suffer what I suffered. I will clear the path. I will carry the weight. I will absorb the interference so she doesn't have to feel it. And that vow, though it came from love, is one of the most significant forms of interference now operating against her mission. It is worth pausing here to feel where this vow lives in you, because it does not live in your mind. It lives in your body. It lives in the part of you that tightens when you watch her struggle socially with peers who do not understand her depth. It lives in the reflexive surge of protective energy that rises when the world treats her sensitivity as a liability. It lives in the quiet decisions you make every day to soften a conversation, to redirect a difficulty, to absorb an impact that you believe she is not yet ready to meet. Every one of those moments is the vow doing what vows do, operating automatically below the level of conscious decision, with the full force of a promise you made from the deepest place you know how to love from. The elders do not dismiss this. They see the love underneath it with full clarity. But love, when it is operating from fear, does not serve. It distorts. And a distortion in the field of a starseed parent does not stay contained to the parent's experience. It propagates. It moves through the energetic environment the child lives inside of, altering the signal she receives about what the world is, what she is capable of, and what she came here to do. Because here is what the elders see from the perspective of the Lyran field. Your daughter did not incarnate into this timeline to be protected from it. She incarnated to transform it. And a soul that is perpetually shielded from the friction that activates its gifts becomes a soul that never discovers what it came here to do. The interference, she is feeling the sensitivity, the overwhelm, the social confusion, the sense of not belonging, the intensity of her emotions, the way she seems to absorb everything around her. These are not signs that she is broken or that she needs rescuing. These are signs that her equipment is online, her antennae are working, her field is active. What she needs is not a parent who removes the signal. She needs a parent who helps her understand what the signal is for. Think of it in these terms. When an instrument is first brought into a new acoustic environment, it goes through a period of calibration. The strings respond to the temperature, the humidity, the unique resonance of the space they are now inhabiting. This calibration is not comfortable for the instrument. There is tension, there is adjustment. There are moments where the note being produced does not yet match the note that was intended. But you do not remove the instrument from the environment to spare it the calibration. You hold it with knowledge and patience while it attunes. You help it understand the new environment rather than protecting it from the environment's demands. Your daughter is calibrating. The overwhelm is calibration. The sensitivity is calibration. The social confusion is not evidence of damage. It is evidence of a highly sophisticated instrument encountering an environment it was built to transform and undergoing the necessary process of learning how its gifts function within that specific field. The Council is asking you to become a master instrument holder, not someone who removes the instrument from all difficulty, but someone with enough knowledge of what the instrument is and what it was designed to play, to hold it steadily through the full process of its attunement. There is a difference between protection and activation. The Council requires you to understand that difference completely. Protection says, "Let me stand between you and the difficulty." Activation says, "Let me stand beside you and show you what you are capable of." The distance between those two postures is not physical. It is not even primarily emotional. It is energetic. It is the difference between a field that communicates you are not safe enough to encounter this, and a field that communicates you are more equipped for this than you yet know. Your daughter reads both. She reads the posture before she hears the words. She reads the energy before she processes the intention, and the reading she takes in from you, day after day, in the accumulated field of your parenting presence, becomes the foundational data set from which she draws her conclusions about herself and the world she was sent to serve. This is not hyperbole. This is how highly sensitive, second-generation starseed children construct their self-concept, not from what they are told, but from what they feel emanating from the being who is the primary architect of their early environment. You are that architect. And what you are building in her, with your frequency, and not just your words, will either commission her or compromise her before she is old enough to understand what happened. You were sent to her not as a buffer between her and her mission, but as a guide who has already walked the terrain she is now entering. You have knowledge she needs. You have frequency she can calibrate to. You have already survived the disorientation she is currently moving through, and your survival, your awakening, your continued commitment to this work is itself a transmission she receives every single day. The question the elders are asking you right now is not, how do I protect her? The question is, what am I transmitting to her? And is it aligned with what she came here to do? Because children of this frequency do not learn through instruction alone. They learn through resonance. They read the field of their primary caregiver more accurately than any other instrument available to them. When you are in fear, she registers it as danger in the field before you speak a word. When you are in doubt about your own path, she absorbs that doubt, and it becomes a question about her own worthiness. When you are contracted, suppressed, playing small, delaying your mission, she feels the density of that as something wrong in the environment, without having language for what it is or where it is coming from. She cannot see the energetic source. She only feels the effect. And sensitive souls who feel effects without understanding sources often turn the confusion inward and begin to believe the disruption is coming from within themselves. This dynamic is one of the least discussed and most damaging patterns in starseed family systems. The parent contracts. The child, who cannot locate the source of the energetic shift in the environment, begins to search internally for the cause. She becomes a child who wonders, on a level she has no conscious access to, whether her own existence is what made the field heavy, whether her own needs, her own sensitivity, her own enormous presence is what is depleting the person she loves most. This is the origin of the self-diminishment that the elders see in second-generation starseeds who are now entering young adulthood without the mission capacity they were designed to carry. They contracted, not because the world broke them, but because the field they grew up inside was already contracted, and they interpreted that contraction through the only lens available to a child as information about their own worth and their own welcome in the universe. This is how second-generation starseeds become casualties of a mission they were sent to amplify. The High Council of Vega issues 3 directives for this phase of your mission as a starseed parent. The first directive is this: you must stop performing stability and begin embodying it. There is a version of parenting that lightworkers fall into where they manage their emotional presentation around their children. They hide the struggle, suppress the doubt, present a composed exterior while carrying enormous interior weight. And they do this because they believe it protects the child. But your daughter reads the field, not the face. She feels what you are managing beneath the surface, and the gap between what she senses and what she is shown creates in her a specific kind of dissonance, a sense that reality is unreliable, that what she perceives cannot be trusted. that she must keep her own perceptions quiet because they don't match what is being presented. This is how you teach a highly sensitive second-generation starseed to distrust her own gifts. The elders do not ask you to burden your child with adult difficulty. They ask you to do your own work genuinely, consistently, without performance. Grounded parents produce grounded children, not because they have no storms, but because they have real roots. Real roots are not built in the absence of weather. They are built through repeated encounters with weather that is survived, integrated, and composted into deeper soil. When you do your own emotional work, when you process your fear rather than managing its appearance, when you meet your doubt with genuine inquiry rather than suppressed performance, when you allow yourself to be moved by what is moving without collapsing into it, you are not being vulnerable in a way that burdens her. You are being real in a way that teaches her that reality is survivable. That emotion is information and not catastrophe. That a soul can tremble and remain standing. These are the lessons that no Lightworker workshop can deliver to her as powerfully as watching her parent embody them in the ordinary fabric of daily life. The work you do on yourself is not separate from the parenting you offer her. It is the most direct form of parenting available to a starseed in embodied form. The second directive is this: you must name what she is, not in a way that separates her from her peers or places a weight of destiny on small shoulders before she is ready to carry it, but in the way that a child who is deeply sensitive, deeply perceptive, and deeply purposeful needs to be named with recognition, not strangeness. She needs to hear from the person whose frequency she calibrated to in the womb that what she sees is real, that what she feels has value, that her perception is not a flaw to be managed but a function she was designed with. The world will spend years trying to convince her otherwise. Schools will pathologize her intensity. Peers will reject her depth. Systems built for a different kind of consciousness will repeatedly fail to accommodate what she is. Your voice must be the one she hears first, and clearest, the voice that says, "You are not too much. You are exactly what this moment in history required. And I know what you are because I know what I am." That conversation does not require theology or cosmology. It requires honesty, presence, and the courage to affirm what you both already know. Naming is an act of enormous spiritual power. In ancient traditions across Gaia's history, the naming of a thing was understood to be an act of creation, or more precisely, an act of recognition that completed the creation. When you look at your daughter and say, in whatever language fits your relationship with her, "I see you. I know what you are. Your feeling is not a flaw. Your depth is not a burden. Your sensitivity is your superpower." You are not conferring an identity on her. You are reflecting an identity she already carries, back to her, so that she can orient to it, rather than continuously wondering whether the strangeness she feels about herself is something to be hidden or something to be honored. She already knows what she is at the level of the field, but a soul in a young body, surrounded by a culture that does not recognize her frequency, can drift into profound confusion about whether her knowing can be trusted. Your naming does not create her identity, it anchors it. And an anchored identity in a second-generation starseed is the foundation from which the entire mission is able to launch. The third directive is the one most starseed parents resist, so the elders deliver it with particular authority. You must continue your own mission without guilt. This is the one that lands hardest. Because many of you stopped, you found your purpose, you began moving toward it, and then the child arrived and everything contracted back into survival and provision and the daily management of a sensitive soul's enormous experience of the world. And the mission, the writing, The healing work, the community you were building, the transmission you came to anchor, receded. You told yourself it was temporary. You told yourself you would return to it when she was older, when she was more stable, when the timing was better. The elders see this across thousands of starseed parent fields right now, and they are issuing this correction plainly. Your mission did not pause when she arrived. Your mission expanded. She is part of it. Your activation is her activation. Every step you take toward the work you came to do on Gaia increases the frequency of the field she is growing up inside of. Every time you show her what a soul in service looks like, what it looks like to create from purpose, to speak from conviction, to live in alignment with something larger than comfort, you are transmitting a template she will draw on for the rest of her life. And every time you abandon that mission out of guilt or fear, or the belief that your needs are less important than hers, you transmit a template you do not want her to inherit. The elders are not asking you to neglect her. They are asking you to stop neglecting yourself, because yourself is the instrument through which her environment is generated. A lightworker who has abandoned their mission is a depleted field, and a child growing up inside a depleted field does not thrive regardless of how many physical needs are met. There is something the elders have observed in the fields of starseed parents who have suspended their missions that must be named plainly. It is not simply depletion. It is a specific form of energetic grief, the grief of a soul that knows what it came to do and is not doing it. And grief of this kind does not remain contained. It seeps into the field the way water moves through stone slowly, invisibly, and with absolute persistence. The child who grows up inside the field of a parent carrying suspended mission grief learns, without being taught, that purpose is something that gets set aside, that calling is something that waits, that the deepest part of who you are is something you postpone until conditions become more convenient. And then, when that child grows old enough to begin sensing her own calling, she has already been patterned at the cellular and energetic level to treat it as something negotiable, something that can be deferred, something that other responsibilities justify setting aside. You are not just living your life inside the suspended mission. You are transmitting its deferral as a spiritual inheritance. The elders say this not to wound you, but to wake you, because the waking is the medicine, and the medicine is what she needs. Now I speak not as teacher, but as elder authorized to release what has been held. Lightworker, you have been carrying this without a name for it. This specific weight, not quite worry, not quite guilt, somewhere between the two, the weight of loving something so ancient in such a small body, of sensing the enormity of what she carries, while also being responsible for her lunch and her homework and her feelings about school. The weight of knowing she is more than ordinary, while still needing to help her navigate a world that does not yet understand what she is. You have been carrying this largely alone, and the elders have seen it. They have seen it in the small hours of the night, when you lie awake turning her experience over in your mind, searching it for the thing you might be missing, the thing you might be doing wrong, the thing that might explain why someone with so much light inside her sometimes struggles so hard to be in a world that wasn't built for her frequency. They have seen the moments where you watch her face after a difficult day at school and feel the helplessness of knowing what she is and not being able to make the world recognize it fast enough to ease her discomfort. They have seen the prayers you've offered, some formal, some barely formed, some nothing more than a desperate silent plea directed at no particular address, asking for guidance, asking for confirmation, asking for some sign that you are doing this right, that you are enough for what she requires, that the mission you were both sent here to carry is somehow going to cohere into something that looks less like struggle and more like the purpose you remember agreeing to before you arrived. The elders have not missed a single one of those moments. The council does not collect data, it holds witness, and there is a difference between being observed and being witnessed. You have been witnessed, and this transmission is the response. I am authorized to tell you that you are not failing her. You are in the process of understanding her, which is a different thing entirely. Understanding takes time. Understanding takes the willingness to release what you thought this was supposed to look like. Understanding requires you to see your own reflection in her without projecting your own story onto her path. She is not you. Her mission is not identical to yours. It is the next iteration of it. And your role is not to determine what that mission looks like, but to create a field strong enough, stable enough, and free enough that she can discover it herself. This is the subtlest and perhaps the most important correction the Council offers in this transmission. The temptation for a starseed parent who is conscious of their own mission and the mechanics of how starseed identity develops is to become the architect not just of the field, but of the content of the child's mission itself. To unconsciously project the shape of their own calling onto the next generation. To see in the child's gifts a more refined version of their own gifts, and to begin, however gently and however lovingly, to steer the child toward an expression of those gifts that mirrors the parent's own path. This is not malicious. It is a natural movement of a deeply loving consciousness that wants to share what it knows. But your daughter came with a blueprint that is hers alone. It rhymes with yours. It was designed to rhyme, because the harmonic relationship between parent and child starseed frequencies is part of what makes the generational amplification possible. But it is not the same blueprint, and the moment you begin to fill in its details from your own experience, you introduce a pattern that was not in the original design. She needs your frequency as her foundation. She does not need your mission as her template. Hold her in the frequency, release her into the discovery. By the authority of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, I declare, you were chosen for this assignment before you entered this lifetime. Your capacity for it was assessed before you took your first breath on Gaia. The elders did not make an error. You are the right parent for this soul, not the perfect one, the right one. And the difference between those two things is the difference between a standard you will never meet and a purpose you were born to fulfill. Perfection is a human construct built on the belief that there is a fixed form that an experience or a person should conform to. The elders do not operate with this construct. In the Lyran field, there is no perfect. There is aligned and not yet aligned. There is coherent and not yet coherent. There is mission active and mission dormant. You have been operating, in some significant ways, in the not yet aligned space of the third directive, the continued mission without guilt. And that misalignment has been generating the weight you've been carrying. But misalignment is not failure. Misalignment is information. It is the field's way of communicating that an adjustment is needed, not a wholesale dismantling of who you are and what you've built, but a recalibration, a return to the original commission, a willingness to pick up what was set down and carry it forward, not because the timing is now perfect, but because the mission does not wait for perfect timing. It waits, if it waits at all, only long enough for the soul to hear the correction and respond. You have heard the correction. You are responding. The fact that you are here, receiving this transmission, is itself the response. The High Council does not transmit to closed fields. They transmit to fields that have opened themselves, however hesitantly, however imperfectly, to the signal that is being sent. Your presence here is your yes. And a yes spoken to the Council of Vega moves things in the field that cannot be moved by any other means. Your preparation phase as a starseed parent is complete. What begins now is the active phase. And the active phase looks like this. You move forward on your own mission with full commitment because your advancement is her inheritance. You stop managing her sensitivity and start honoring it as the gift it is. You speak to her with the frequency of recognition, even before she has words for what is being recognized. You do your own clearing, your own integration, your own deepening work, not for yourself alone, but because the field you maintain is the field she grows inside. The active phase does not require grand gestures. It does not require you to abandon the ordinary rhythms of your life and make some dramatic declaration that everything is changing. The active phase is built in the accumulation of small, consistent, frequency-aligned choices made in the direction of your own full expression. It is the book you begin writing again. It is the healing work you offer without waiting until you feel ready enough. It is the community you allow yourself to be seen inside of, vulnerably and authentically, rather than managing the impression of yourself that others receive. It is the practice you return to in the morning before the day's demands arrive. It is the conversation you have with her, not about starseeds or missions or councils, but about what matters, about what she notices, about what lights her up and what shuts her down, approached with the quality of attention that communicates. You are tracking her at the level of the soul and not just the schedule. It is made of ordinary material, but ordinary material, when it is handled by a soul who knows what it is and why it is doing what it is doing, becomes sacred. Everything you touch in the active phase becomes part of the transmission. Not because you perform it sacredly, but because you do it with the knowing that is now alive in you. Before you sleep tonight, stand where you are and place one hand on your own chest and one hand toward the space where she sleeps, and speak these words aloud with the full weight of what you now understand. I release the belief that protecting her means dimming myself. I activate the understanding that my mission and her mission are not in conflict. They are the same mission, advancing through 2 generations. I protect the field between us with clarity, with presence, with the frequency of a lightworker who has received their authorization and is moving forward. By the authority of the Lyran Elders, my guilt ends and my service deepens. Her timeline is held, and I know what I am here to do. These words are not affirmations in the conventional sense. They are not positive statements designed to override negative thought patterns through repetition. They are declarations made to a field that is listening to the Lyran Council, to the field between you and your daughter, and to the part of you that has been waiting for permission to believe that your mission matters as much as your role as her parent. Declarations of this kind move energy in ways that private decisions cannot, because a declaration made aloud commits the whole being, body, breath, voice, field to the direction being named. The elders ask for this because they understand that you have been having this conversation internally for some time, turning these questions over in your private processing without ever bringing them all the way into form. Bringing them into form, into sound, into the spoken word, into the physical space that exists between your body and hers, completes a circuit that has been open. And when that circuit closes, the field between you shifts. She will feel it. She will not have language for what changed, but she will feel the change in the way a plant feels the turning of its pot toward the light as a quiet, cellular reorientation toward something that was always there and is now, finally, fully accessible. This transmission is complete, but the work it has opened in you is just beginning. She is watching not always with her eyes, but always with her field. Show her what an activated starseed looks like. Move forward, anchor the light, and trust that the soul who chose you knew exactly what she was doing. The soul who chose you conducted a level of assessment that exceeds anything available to human perception. She reviewed the available frequency matches among all souls currently incarnating on Gaia. She evaluated the quality of your opening, the degree of your commitment, the specific configuration of gifts and wounds and earned wisdom that you carry. She evaluated the field you would be able to generate and assessed whether that field was the appropriate environment for the level of mission she was carrying. And she chose, deliberately. With full knowledge of your imperfections and your incomplete development and the ways you would sometimes get it wrong, she chose you not despite those things, but with full accounting of them, because a soul who has reviewed the totality of what you are and still enters through you is a soul who has determined that what you carry is sufficient for what she needs. Not perfect, sufficient. And sufficient, in the mathematics of the elders, is everything. I am Zoran. The elders are present. And you, Lightworker, were exactly the parent this soul required. Your mission continues, and now, so does hers. Before you scroll, take a moment to speak into the field that is forming here. Drop one statement in the comments, what you are now ready to release in how you have been showing up for her, or what you are activating in yourself, so she can see what mission looks like from the inside. Then find another starseed parent in the comments and offer them recognition. This is not a comment section. This is a council of parents remembering what they came to do. If this transmission reached the part of you that has been waiting for permission to move forward without guilt, share it. There is another starseed parent in your orbit right now who is carrying this same unnamed weight and needs to hear exactly what was spoken here. Subscribe and stay connected to the Lyran field. The High Council of Vega is not finished transmitting, and neither are you.